Welcome to the Fantasy Take TV podcast. Today we discuss all things round 13. On the agenda today, just the latest news has dropped with all the injuries, a few big ones listed on the injury report, which we'll touch on. Go through a few rookies, might have to go early on a few if we want them. Upgrades are after their buys, so not really targeting players on their buy, and just talk general strategy, like how we're going to finish our teams. We're going to make sacrifices and whatnot. So we'll discuss that. And joining me today is the one and only Eno. How are you? And how are you going this week?
Good, George. Good. There's a few comments I've seen in recent weeks that I've disappeared. I was dead. Thought I'd never come back, but nah. To be honest, just end of uni, so finished that up because I started halfway through the year 3 years ago. So finished my Bachelor of Sports Media degree, and just been busy making sure that's getting done. Bit of work as well. Few overnight shifts working for Channel 7, like on their sports streams, so 7 Plus, all the stuff they do, producing a few of those. So there's been some dog hours, like, surfing overnight in El Salvador, and I was doing like Muay Thai kickboxing and stuff in like Thailand or whatever that's overnight. So I've had a few late nights, and to be honest, haven't been watching a lot of footy. So need to get back into it, not for my sake, but just to watch the AFL in general, because my team's not really anything worth talking about these days. But back into it now. We'll continue coming on for the pod every week and more just answering other people's questions. I think you're still going okay, but I'll be more here just to answer some questions about teams doing better than me.
Talk a bit of crap for the week.
Talk a bit of crap, and to be honest, still recovering from the Nugs choking Game 7, and then Arsenal obviously not getting the job done with that. So
was that the same day that happened?
It was like the same, 12 hours or something. So that was I was in hiding for a week there. That wasn't pretty. But as far as my SuperCoach team is, well, I mean, I've been doing trades, early in the week and haven't even been looking at them. And a few things I should have changed. Like 2 weeks ago, brought in Caleb Smith, like the Tiggs rookie. He was a sub. I didn't even look. And now he's like completely dead. We've got players back. So he's dead. I brought in, Will Dawson this week. I think a few people did that, and he died early, didn't he? So a lot of dead spots in my team. Brought in Graham Myers a couple of weeks ago. He scored 30 against us, which I don't know how you don't score more than 30 against Richmond these days. Although we can talk about Thursday night, George.
No.
But it's just been a shit show from pretty much round 3, not starting Gorn, having to get him in. I'm not going to go through it all again. But then the whole sweet thing with, traded Rowan out. Then Rowan goes on a two-round average of 160. And I'm like, where the fuck's that been, brother? Yeah. Just been crazy. And then, I left the captaincy on Nick Dacos yesterday just to further sink the teeth in. And, I did see, I think someone said it in the cord that he's going to get tagged. And I just left it on, didn't really care enough to switch it. And that was a disaster too. So I'm still sitting at 19K. Isn't good. Haven't really made much ground in the last 3 or 4 weeks that I haven't been on the pod. So, she's not going great. And I got like 9 trades left. I know we had 30 at the start, but they've zapped up quickly. I think I've used them pretty much as you possibly can, maybe besides like 1 or 2 the whole year. So, this week I'm looking pretty bad. I think we were just talking about it before the pod. Got 16 because I think you said Kirch isn't coming back this week yet. Still got him.
Not yet.
And a few dead rookies. So not looking pretty. And if we want to talk about duds, well, where do I start? I guess.
How many faults do you want to reel off?
Tom Green, you get him in, Tom Green, when he was bottomed out. Or did you start him? Oh, you started him. How bad has that turned? Like what? I haven't really been watching, but what's going on? He's averaging 101. Like,
he can't go though. He's worthless. You can't trade him.
He's sat there all year for me, but man, still clinging on to Tom Power because that's how bad I'm going. So he's just been popping 70s, I think. Had Sexton still, so he's been all right. Probably have to get rid of him this week to field a team, but not much to say with my team, George. I think getting in Goulden this week, we'll have to give him some love. I did that, so that was big for me. Could have been even worse than it was. So, hopefully he ends the year strong for anyone that went with him. He looked pretty good in Sydney, obviously. Clear best team in the comp. at the minute. So yeah, that's it for me, George. How'd you go, mate?
Went all right this week. I think at the start of the year, nothing went right, and pretty much everything's gone right since, apart from the Crouch injury, which got me a golden 150. So is it really a bad thing? But I'm into 800 now, but I've had my 2 easy buys. Now I can't see myself going up the next 2 weeks because I'm currently fielding 18, including a Freya and a Sullivan this week, and they're not doing much. So see how we go. But can't complain too much. I think it's weird. I've paid 600 for English, 620 for Sarong, 640 for Rao, 670 for Ryan, 670 for Merritt. I don't know what I'm doing. Like, how have I gotten away with this? I just thought we had more cash gen than we did, and all of a sudden it's all gone. So I'm gonna just scrape a 22nd with 4 trades left and no 23rd, which is what I've been preaching about for 12 months. It's not going to happen unless I get Richards comes back and makes another 150k or something. So I think, definitely 123rd, but Billy Dowling has come and he's going to be the 23rd. So
Okay.
Yeah, he's gone pretty well. So I
think
think he'll
you'll
keep
stay-
playing for the
you'll stay in?
Crease.
Yeah. Okay.
So if he doesn't play, then there will be pitchforks and I will be calling up 5AA myself, which I've been tempted, but I can't get through. It will happen eventually, but even maybe SEN on Friday. They take a few calls, but I don't know if I want to be up at 5:30 in the morning, to be honest, on a Friday. So
How was
maybe-
Fireball Fridays after Thursday night?
I can't remember if I listened. I think I was away Friday. I was in Victor Harbour. Can't even
Oh, yeah,
remember.
yeah,
I might listen to it. But yeah, they're always good though. But yeah, we'll move on. So announcement for us is JD's not on the pod with us anymore. So I think he's pretty much scaling back content. And yeah, it'll just be me and you for the rest of the year, and we'll see how we go next year. So and yourself, you're probably going to stick to the podcast, you think, and not so much the weekly stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I only ever started this to do it for fun, right, and enjoyment. Like, all those years ago, hit you up. Do you want to do a podcast,
Big
watch
footy.
videos? And even
Yeah.
for the first couple of years, I didn't make my own videos. And I thought probably only 3 years ago, maybe 4, decided to do my own. I just haven't really found the time, or it's also the time, but just want to sit down and record my own videos anymore. I did almost stop the start of this year, but I thought, why not go one more? And I guess how bad the team's going, just said, yep, no, it's time to stop now, mate. Just don't really have the enjoyment plus time to do it anymore. So no, happy to do the podcast. Continue that for the rest of the year. We'll talk, in the summer or whatever, whether we continue on next year. But yeah, that's pretty much the same. I think JD's the same. He's done a lot of content in the last 3 or 4 years on his channel and built it up quite nicely. But he's obviously got the young kids, the family and stuff. So I just think, getting to the point where, especially maybe 2 or 3 years ago, probably more into it than is healthy. You're probably the same at some points, just way too much time spent on stuff like this. It's meant to be a bit of fun. I'm happy to come on, talk some stuff on the podcast, talk a bit of shit and what we think we're doing, but just the extra time that you're putting into it, during the week, every day or whatever, if you research and stuff, it's all well and good, but needs to be a bit more of a balance, I think. So I think I'm coming from the same spot as JD with that stuff. So yeah, I don't know what you think you're doing beyond this year, but yeah, I'm still happy to keep doing the podcast. It's always a bit of fun.
Yeah, I think that just finding the time as well is challenging.
You've been traveling a bit more with work and stuff, haven't you?
Yeah, 3 times a quarter. I spend 4 days, so 12 days basically in regional Victoria. So not much internet there, as we've found out.
Yeah, a few podcasts.
I like doing content, so I still like to make time for it.
Yeah.
It's just the commitment every week has gotten a little bit challenging this year. So I get the weekly vid out Sunday night, and then beyond that, sometimes I'm away, I'm getting home late. Some days I spend about 90-minute drive away. So coming home, getting home 7 o'clock, haven't eaten dinner and stuff. So it just gets You need to have that balance between relaxing and working, if you know what I mean.
Yep.
So, well, I think it's for me it's important. But yeah, we'll discuss over the summer next year. But yeah, still do the pod and 1 or 2 videos a week from me for now, and go from there. But yeah, we can get stuck into the news now. Worth noting as well, JD's made a massive contribution to the podcast and the community and Discord as well. So yeah, do appreciate what he's done for us over the past few years. But
absolutely,
get stuck into it. So news, I was watching Channel 7 or 9, one of the two, and they said Rankin is available, but he's listed as a test, so expecting him to play against the Swans Saturday night. Joe Richards 2 weeks away. If you're like me, hoping that he's your final money source. Maybe he can make some money post-buy and you can get an extra premium at some point. So 2 weeks away. Nick Dacos listed as a test. Oh boy, we need him this week. I think he said he'll be fine to somebody. I read that on Twitter. But it was a knock to the shin. Brody Mychek's 2 weeks away, so that could affect the job security of Nathan Kruger, who did play really well. So whether he holds with or without Mychek, I honestly couldn't tell you. The defender 102K, defender mid 102K rookie, Saad El Hawaii. I probably pronounced that wrong. He kicked 3 goals in the VFL, but he has done his syndesmosis, so he's out for 6+. Parrish is still out for another 5. So if you're liking like a Cordwell type, could go there. Conway is listed as to be TBC with a knee. Lockie Weller is 5 weeks away, and Will Power will return post-bye. So we'll touch on Sexton later. Cogs is out for another 1 to 3, and Josh Kelly is a test with a calf. Cogs has the shoulder, so if you're looking at like a Peatling, don't know if that role holds because he did get dropped or moved out of position when Cogs was fully fit. Petrarca, unfortunate. Darcy
6
Moore.
weeks.
Yeah.
Whoa.
That's not official. They, Peter Larkins, the doctor guy.
Yeah.
They interviewed him, and he said usually cracked ribs or the lacerated spleen or something like that.
He played on, didn't he? He played in the third quarter. Yeah, what the hell?
He said he's got like 3 different injuries: spleen, lung, and ribs. And he said like one of them is a minimum 6 weeks. Minimum. So who knows beyond that? Will Dawson indefinite, so has some sort of shoulder injury. Colby McKercher, a lot of people that traded him back in or held him will be pleased to know he's 1 week away, according to North's injury list. But he's back running. Hopper and Prestia are out this week for 1 week. Prestia could be 2. So if you have Kane, you might get a nice score from him this week. Callum Mills is 1 to 2 weeks away. So it'll be interesting to see how he fits into that team. Oscar Allen is 1 week away. So Hutchinson from West Coast. I dare say his job security would not be great. Nick Caulfield, for anyone that has him on your bench, he's 2 to 3 away. Not sure if he plays or not. And Ed Richards is listed as a test. Showed that great form in the midfield. A lot of injuries and stuff, a lot of short-term stuff. And big one is probably McKercher coming back, and what happens with Sexton, not too sure. And obviously Dacos as well, but you'd think he'd be fine. Anything to add on those injuries or news?
Not that I know. George haven't looked too much at it. So, I guess Kane's been scoring well in patches. I know he was going well 2 weeks ago, was it, to halftime, and then he sort of faded out a bit. But yeah, might get more opportunity again this week, which would be good for you, whoever's got him. Other than that, not sure, mate. I guess, what does it say with Weller? Oh, and Power's back this week. Sorry, yeah. So I guess with Sexton, obviously he's on the bye, but next week, maybe that's a talking point. Do we just trade him now at the bye? I think I probably have to anyway. But what do you have? Like 130 dream team and only scored 80 something.
87. It's hard. Like Brody Ullin scored like 150.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Collins 100 or whatever. Jeffrey 120 is.
What do you think? Just ditch him now in SuperCoach at least.
I don't know because what forward am I getting? I think you were a Luke Jackson owner, and I'm thinking I'm going to be out of trades. I need Ruck cover probably. What did you think of Jackson when he was solo rucking, duo rucking? No good.
Yeah, that first week was good, and then, well, the second week, sorry, against North, wasn't it? And then it was pretty average the rest of it. He still had some okay scores, hasn't he? As the second ruck, he's had a couple of bags of 2 or 3, but then the bad scores can be there, right? The 50s and stuff. Yeah. So, I don't know, dude. What? I've got Dylan Moore this week. So what is that? Heaney, Flanders,
Fisher, Sorko.
Fisher, I've got Fisher. Yeah, I got him back in, and then
probably more
and whatever random 2. You still looking at a Carlton forward?
Nah, I think I'd rather just pick Jackson than a Carlton forward.
Gives you ruck cover, yeah.
Yeah, Jackson's break even is 140.
Okay.
But I do feel like Rankin would be the one, like no chance I can afford him.
Yeah, he's back.
But yeah, it's a lot of points. Like if you got Jackson F6 and Shrek stays healthy, he could be doing like say 82 average. I don't know, 80, and Rankin could be doing like 100 to 105, 20, 25 points a week times 10. 11 weeks or 10 weeks. It's like 250 points could be. So it's a lot of points just from having a F6. Because still a long way to go. Still 11 rounds to go. It's like only just over halfway through, which is crazy. We'll get to that when we get to upgrades, which are not too far off, but we've already sort of discussed how many we're fielding this week, but I think I'm fielding 18 unless Sullivan gets dropped, and you're fielding after. Do you know your trades yet? And so
I don't, but it will be 18 once I do them.
Yeah.
So maybe like Jai Clark to Dowling, and then Sexton up to a primo. Whether that's a forward or defender, I don't know. It can be either, I think, because that's the 2 I need left. So yeah, whatever. I'll have 18. Provided Nick plays and stuff and no one else randomly gets dropped or injured, but yeah.
If Nick plays and I have to field 17, there's nothing I can do about it.
Yeah.
Just cop it. But yeah, I think a good position would be. I just think there's too many dead rooks. Like my latest upgrades have been like Richards, Garcia, Darcy Jones, Jake Rogers. Like the cash is gone. Like I think
I got Dawson and Darcy Jones on my forward bench.
Yeah.
You still got Zach Reed, like he's injured again.
I've got Zach Reed and Marty Hoare too. It's a disaster. So I guess the lesson next year is maybe we hold the faith with old Ollie Wines, hold him through a 1 week hammy, and correct our 7 dead rooks on the bench. I think, but it was a hard one. It's just so many. Like I think the amount of defender rookies that died was pretty bad. I think like 5 in the first 6 weeks, or in the first 3 weeks or something. But anyway, do you think you'll get a 23rd premium or 23rd mid-pricer, like a Simpkin sort of type, or like keep McKercher as your cover?
Yeah, no, I won't get one in, but it would be like keep McKercher if enough money's made by, whoever I've got left to make money, like Sullivan and Freya and stuff. So no, I won't be able to get one in, but I'm terribly positioned. So there'd be some people out there that can, and if you can, I would say do it for sure. Maybe it is Kirch if he comes back and plays well, and you still don't have him, and he's like 400k. I don't know. It depends where you want the play to be, right? Like, could be a 7th forward, which might be handy if because they can obviously still drop some poor scores. Like even Dylan Moore. He could drop a poor one here and there. Just any of them, really. Probably besides Flanders and Heaney, who really haven't all year. But, maybe loop in there. I did that quite a few years ago now. And it was good some weeks, sometimes not. You still got to guess the player, obviously, to take off. Or hopefully you pick the player that does score poorly as the emergency. But, yeah, no, if you can, for sure. Probably won't be till a few more weeks. I don't know how some people finish teams yet. They probably have. They're probably in the top 100 and cooking. But if you can, George, then absolutely you would.
Yeah,
just depends who you'd go.
I think if you're like really struggling for money, like pretty much me and my 7 dead rooks, I think Billy Dowling can be your 23rd.
Yeah,
I'm pretty confident. The same before, like he'll play the rest of the year. Is it too early to trade in any 102k loopholes?
I mean, we don't need any. I've got a few.
I just need a DPP for defense. I can't have Horton Reed on my bench for 11 weeks. I don't think that's gonna get away with that.
Yeah. No, it's not. It's not. It depends. It's all team dependent, right? How you going?
Yeah.
But if you want one, no, I don't think it is too early. Definitely can. Hopefully you've got actually some players that you can loop on and stuff. But yeah.
I'm pretty much thinking about I'm gonna cull my Deadwood for 2 102Ks. I think Sard was a chance to play. Now he's done us into osmosis, and then
I don't know. I have to look him up.
he's a mid-season draft rookie, and then there's your mid-season draftee at Richmond is a defender forward. So if you can put like him at D7, you can like use Fisher or maybe Sexton if he holds to cover D7. So I'm kind of thinking about that, but I don't know. I feel like Green never plays full seasons. Zorko, and Fisher's done like 3 hammies in the past year. So I don't know how they're all going to stay fit. And anything can happen. Like Petrarca never misses games. Now he's gone for probably 2 months at least. So like if Gorn's out for a week, I'd rather just cover him than trade him out. And so situations like that, and it will happen, and it can happen all at once. So I don't know. Try to figure something out.
Yep.
Touch on rookies. So Dowling would be the number 1, I think, and then even though he has the bye, I'd still grab him, get a score this week, and if you don't need him this week, then I guess you can hold off till post bye. But probably everyone will have him and can probably loop him with your F6's crap, I reckon, because I think the Crows should give him some mid-clock. Apparently, the Crows are going to make many changes this week, and hopefully that means a few changes in the midfield. But can't really trust the Crows selection. Kruger, thought he played pretty good. Don't know. His durability is pretty poor, but he is that Ruck cover. I don't know if he plays the rest of the year. I couldn't tell you, but I mean, they're playing what? Who was their forward line? Frampton and Kruger. So you would think Frampton goes first for my check, and like McStay's out for the year. And then Cox maybe comes back. So, any interest in Kruger?
I'd need some Pies fans to tell me what they think happens. But doesn't it feel like once? Yeah, what'd you say? My checks 1 or 2 away or whatever.
I'm just looking up Mason Cox availability. 4 to 6.
I don't know. If feels like they need him. Maybe even if my check comes back in, he might get a few more weeks. I don't know. Someone have to let us know. But
you would think he plays for
until Cox is back. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah,
it could go. What, he only played the 1 game, right? First game, was it?
Yep, first game.
So you can wait maybe another week and have a look.
I'd probably skip like.
If you're confident in Dowling, I'll just go him. He's got mid forward, so.
Yep.
Kruger's forward only, yeah.
Forward Ruck.
Forward Ruck. Okay, shit.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So that could help.
Makes it more interesting. Yeah.
If you're, so he can't really cover English, but
he probably goes out eventually, right? So it doesn't really matter. I don't know.
I think he has to stay in the team. I think, Jamie Elliot's out
dead for the year.
Yeah, it's ACL.
Yeah, okay.
Not coming back.
No chance of coming back. Okay.
So I think he'll stay in the team at least till Cox comes, which is 4 to 6. So this week, by maybe 2 weeks after that, maybe 2 to 4 weeks after the bye. So 2 to 4 weeks of price rises.
Yeah. Okay.
Buslinger could play at 27 touches. I hope that's correct because I did read that somewhere in the VFL. So, they've lost Keith and I think Gardner at the Dogs. So key position back. first round pick from last year. Could be a good downgrade target. I don't know if I want to go early or not, though. Again, another one with the last buy, so a little bit frustrating and not even named to play yet, but in the frame to play. So yeah, Gardner's out for 3 months and Keith's out for 5 to 7.
Shit. Okay.
So you think his job security is not too bad unless they throw Karmas back. But maybe they've given up on him back, which is why they took him out. So not sure. I think you could do worse though. But I think Dowling would be the number one option. But I think, yeah, the job security should be okay for Kruger and Bustlinger, given injuries. I think that's all rookies, pretty much. McMullen was sub and went up and did okay, but yeah, you got Cogs and Kelly coming back, so sub risk too, so probably wouldn't go there. And we can touch on some real cheapies. I've got a few here. So Simpkin, Fife, Peatling, and Colby McKercher. Did you watch Saturday, Dry Simpkin?
No, I didn't. I was working, and then I didn't watch any games on Saturday. But I heard he played well and split up from his missus. That's what my North mate told me. He's been going out with for 6 years or something. That's as much information as you get from me.
Yeah, I'm not much good either on this one. He's had a few CBAs, like 40 and 50% CBAs, and he was scoring 60s, but do you give him the excuse card because he's had concussion issues, had wrist issues, then did a quad. Yeah, it looks like he started in the first CBA with Wardlaw, LDU, Sherry. I think they keep him in the midfield. I haven't even watched him, but it was against West Coast, and I'm not expecting 130s, but he's done like 90s in the past. And for his price and given the state of the forward line, plus he's off the bye, I would rather a Cordwell over him, but Cordwell has a bye and 100k difference. If you're strapped for cash and you need an F6, this is the one.
Okay, yeah, 65% CBAs.
Even if he does 85, I don't think that's a disaster.
Yeah. Was he out for a month or something? I don't even know.
He had a quad issue, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Jeez.
Again, it's a bit hard. Neither of us
hadn't scored a 70 all year prior to that.
Yeah, I think the plan was in preseason, they said that Simpkin will play half forward or wing a lot more. They sort of wanted to phase him out, but I think this will do the confidence some good. A win against, I guess it's West Coast, but fixture's not too bad. Collingwood, their midfield's depleted. Melbourne's midfield's a mess. After that, not great. Dogs, Suns, Sydney, Carlton, that's horrendous, but then comes home with Geelong, Richmond, West Coast, Dogs again, and then Hawks. So bit of a mixed bag, like either hard or easy fixtures. So I think he's a fine option for the price.
Yeah.
Have you entertained that pick at all? Or?
I haven't thought much about it. I can't, George. I've still got Tom Powell.
Yeah.
I've got McKercher. I got Fisher. I'm not going back to more North players, but we're still talking about Simpkin, right?
Yeah.
Probably not for me, but maybe if you really needed to cheat one, you could think about it. But it's 1 week, right? And then West Coast. So who else we got?
Nat Fife.
No.
Nah.
Well, what's he been doing recently?
He's 350k. He's come back a bit because he was a sub and looked poor for a few weeks, but had a spell now. Looked okay last time they played, but he's held up for half a season. Can he keep going?
What did he do?
He was getting treatment in India or something. They do the chakra stuff,
right?
So that might help him a little bit.
Not for
me. He
had
a 3 round of about 60, and then scored 100 in a 100-point win.
Oh yeah, that game. I didn't see that one either last week. That was crazy. Probably not for me, George. No.
I'd definitely go Simpkin over him. Just more of an age and body thing, and at any point in time, they can they're probably going to play finals Frio. I mean, you never know, but you would think that there might be one or two sub games in there, and then how does the body feel as the season wears on? Not sure.
Yeah, no. This next one I'm interested in because I picked him up in draft about a month ago, I reckon, when he had that first good game. He didn't play for like another 3 weeks or something. So
James Peatling, we're talking about.
What's the go with Peatling? Yeah, what's the go?
I think Fu got him in Discord. Fu or Sal, one of the two. I can't remember. He looks good. I like him in the midfield. The problem is Cogs and Kelly are about to come back. And last time, basically, he started getting CBAs, I think, when Cogs got subbed off. They interviewed him a few weeks ago, and they said he can play an outside role if they need him to. This would be a pretty easy pick if they came out and said he's going to play inside mid for the rest of the year. I've watched him a bit. He's all right. He's good and close. He tackles, and he can also spread a bit and providing a bit of run and carry as well on the weekend. So he looked good. I think disposal probably needed a bit of work. I don't think you can with the players coming back. It's not enough security, but he would have been a good pickup in the 200s. Then I guess hold him through a few down games, but he can score with the role. It's just the role isn't guaranteed. So I wouldn't go there. But I did bring him in fantasy, and more of a 2-week play.
Yeah, didn't see that with like Cogs and Kelly back. Kelly's back this week, right? So damn.
And then if you need a budget, D6 or maybe D7, I suspect Tucker will be moved from halfback to let McKercher. I suppose you already have him, but McKercher next week apparently off the foot issue. I think you could go there. Yeah. I wonder if he's got the Saints or Richmond anytime soon.
He'd have to go in when he's back. Break even -3.
No Saints, but there is Richmond round 21.
Then West Coast again.
Melbourne as well give up a little bit, as we saw with Freo. Well, that is Freo though.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Marvel games as well. Couple Tassie ones as well.
I think he's a good pick at the 370. I think he's a good pick for. I think he can do 85 plus, potentially 90.
There's only one true away game left. That's crazy. You can count the G if you want, but it's not really. Sydney at the SCG away. Other than that, they're at the G, Marvel, or at in Tassie.
So that's good because I know he did struggle on the small grounds early in the year. I think at Norwood and can't remember. He got injured in one of them at GMHBA.
That's right, yeah.
So I think you can put him in your plans for next week, provided this injury report is correct in this 1 week.
Yeah.
In his 3 games since returning to halfback, his free round is, if I can find it, 110.
Yeah.
I don't know if he does 100 or not, but I think worst case 85, best case 100 plus.
Yeah, if you're in a good position and you finish your team, it could be nice to cover defense and midfield.
I'd love to grab him, but I just can't. Money's not a thing for me.
Yeah.
We get into upgrade. So there's some cheap options you can consider. I'd probably take McKercher 1, Simpkin 2, 5-3, Peatling 4. Any objections to that?
Not really, yeah. I think the only one I'm really interested in would be Kirch anyway.
Yep. So some players off the bye. Clark, Houston, and Whitfield. We are Whitfield owners. Would you endorse Whitfield?
I'm not anymore, mate. I turfed that asshole 3 weeks ago, I think.
Oh, my goodness. Well,
yeah, I turned Stewart and Whitfield into Ryan and Houston. And Houston, again, I get Houston in for his worst 3-week stretch of the year. Or 2 week. Yep, got him in after the 140 and hasn't tonned since, and then had the bye. You still got Whitfield, do you? Wow, I'm surprised you haven't turfed him.
I can barely finish a team. Like I can like Sexton coming back has allowed me to get pretty much Zorko. Otherwise, I would have had to go Simpkin, and Zorko's probably going to lose like 100k if he doesn't go big this week. So, look, this is not the right time to get Whitfield. He's about to get tagged
to get him,
by.
hell no.
I think you can do worse than Whitfield if he's like 460k after James Jordan tag. Like I would actually consider that if I was
okay. Yeah, that's pretty cheap, but
that bad. But he's not a top 6. I think like I didn't watch the game, but I already know exactly what happened. He had a ceiling game. Everything went right. Big game against the club that gives up a little bit to distributors. And he scores 1 at 8 for his 30 touches. And then anything.
Well, he was on 30 at half time or something.
Okay. Since Ash went down, I've been watching. I feel like Himmelberg's sort of positioning like a Luke Ryan, just without screwing around with it. And Whitfield's positioning like a Nick Martin, a bit more through the middle of the ground. So it's a bit harder to get involved in like bullshit possessions. But
I didn't even know Ash was out. That makes it worse.
Yeah.
Looking more. What the fuck?
He's done a calf, I think. I think might have been Kelly that in the calf. Anyway, he's injured, but Whitfield, I think it wouldn't go coming to the tag. I think Jordan Clark and Houston are probably the other two. I'd be quite happy with either. I think Clark, you might cop a. You're going to cop a Jordan tag in 3 weeks, which is not ideal, but I think he will make up for that. Just the way Freo are playing, and the way he looks, and he would be probably should be in the All-Australian team at the moment. Just watching him, does everything, intercepts, gets involved in junk, run and carry, just doesn't get the kick-ins, but he's quite happy to switch it back and forth with Luke Ryan. So I think he's fine. A Houston owner, are you happy with that pick?
No. No, I don't really care. But the last 2 weeks, I think I only watched the first one, but I don't really know. It was the kid. He was getting kicking for a bit, wasn't he? Like, yeah, you tell me, mate. Don't ask me.
He sort of gets his touches, a lot of them through the middle of the ground. Sometimes gets kick-in, sometimes doesn't, but he really needs to nail a few inside 50 kicks, I think, to score well and kick the odd goal from outside 50. So I think he's fine. Port's fixture is pretty bad, and I'm pretty bearish on what Port are going to do for the rest of the year, to be honest.
Yeah, they're fraud.
I think they're shutting down Butters a bit more regularly now. And like Giants away, Brisbane at home, Saints is fine. And like Dogs, Suns, Richmond's should be easy, although I wouldn't be surprised. And then the last 5 is pretty bad. Carlton, Sydney, Melbourne could be okay, Adelaide away, or Adelaide at home actually, and then Freo away. So there's I can see a lot of losses here, especially the next 2. So I think he's fine. He'll be fine. I just think won't be as good as the first half of the year. But he was really good the second half of the year last year, so who knows?
Yeah.
The reason why I prefer Jordan Clark to him is Clark just farms points, whereas Houston's like more effective per touch.
Yeah.
So, like, for example, Clark's DT the last 3 weeks has been, I think he's number 1, like 140 or something, because he can just, he gets involved in that sort of game, whereas you'll never see Houston have a 3-round to 140 DT.
Yeah, that's cool.
So my order would be Clark, Houston, Whitfield. Any objections?
No. Cool. It's the same for me. Yeah, Clark's been cooking.
Mids off the bye. So Errol, Dunkley, Neil, Butters, Rosie. Could go LDU and potentially like a Horn Francis or something. So we both went Errol, got the sugar hit this week. Whether he's the first one out of this lot, who knows? I know Dunkley has you can't bring in Dunkley this week because I think he's going to get Winhagen on Friday night. Like you would think that's a shoe-in.
Mm.
Any of these players you'd like to bring into your team this week if you had to?
If you didn't go Errol last week, I think he's probably who I'd like. I mean, what's his break even? It must be pretty low now, 40. So I'm not saying I like him the most out of these. Well, if you don't have Butters, I guess you're probably not going well this year anyway. Like I've had him still not going well, but he's had his patches though. I guess he hasn't been like hot all year. How much is he? He's still 600-ish, isn't he?
630.
High break even though. I'd get Errol first, right? If you didn't go him last, people probably don't have many mids to get left though. That's the thing.
Yeah, I had no mid slots like 4 weeks ago.
I just trust Sydney. You know, on the run home. Like Errol was meant to be getting tagged on the weekend, and it didn't look like
I
it.
saw
Really.
that. I read that. I was like, Blitzard's getting tagged, and I just looked at my phone. I was like, I can't be bothered trying to figure this out. Getting out of it, I'm just like, he'll be fine. I think Nas in Discord is like, oh, Chris always bullshits. Like he'll never tell the truth pre-game or something like that.
Well, he was on him, but it didn't do shit. Yeah. I just trust that team, right? They're the clear best team in the league. Whereas Port, I don't really trust at all. So, yeah, Errol's cheaper, got low break even. Maybe get him in first.
Yeah.
Does he outscore Butters from here, mate? Probably not, but it might go close. It might go close.
Yeah.
So they're probably the ones I like the most. Rosie, he's just had a year from hell, hasn't he? Is he still?
Yeah, 180 break even.
Like, yeah. You let that one sit and see how he goes. Probably drops a fair bit. And then the Brizzy mids. I don't know. You probably watched them more than me. Well, you definitely have, because I haven't barely watched footy the last month. But what do you thought of Brizzy there? Like, really hard to get a read on.
I think that the tags will come for Neil. He looks like pristine in the midfield. Like, he's just too good at stoppage.
Yeah.
Dunkley kind of have grown to have trust issues with him, whether it's body or form. Can be a bit up and down. So I don't really fully trust Dunkley. Like, I have him in sports deck, and he's been garbage since I got him.
Yeah.
Like his DT this week was like 70 or something, so about the same as Oliver, who was horrendous. I think I would take Butters and Gordon over. If there's no tags, I'd take probably Neil, but just think Neil, you can't really bring in a 620k player or whatever he is, like into a tag straight away. So I hold off, and I'd rather just save the money on Errol, to be honest. Just watching Errol, I know people are concerned with the wing time, and smaller ground probably helps him for wingers because you can get involved a bit more. But he's around the stoppages a lot, and he's just a jet as well. I think he'll destroy the Crows this week. So,
yeah.
In the TOG, he said the TOG's can go up, and he's given away like incredible amount of frees this year. So I think he can do. I think he can push 110 from here. I'm not sure that he will do it. I think he'll push it, and price is pretty good. So I think, yeah, I will probably Errol, I guess. But if you asked me last week, I probably would have said Neil. So who knows? I don't think you can go too wrong with either. But I feel safer with Errol. Like, he's younger as well. All these other guys, apart from Butters, have all had injuries recently. So
yeah,
that's. Now you are an English owner like me.
Man, what a shit show. My Ruck's been at least like you started.
Disaster.
Well, you started Max at least.
Yeah.
I started Rowan. Had his good games, had his bad ones, had some really bad ones. Sweet pops up. Yeah, stuff it. Rowan, you're gone. Had like a 50. What he scored? 50 and a 60. Said bye-bye to you. He scores 160 and then 170. Sweet plays 1 week and then he's out of the team. And then I'm like, well, shit, I got to get a Ruck back in. Then we'll get English. And he fucking hasn't, what, has he scored 1 ton since I've had him?
Yeah, against Darcy Cameron when they had 50 hitouts each and they had no midfield.
You could probably clip me the last 3 years or 4 years saying, Gorn and Grundy, the old Gorndy's getting a bit boring. Let's throw up,
Yeah.
some differences, man. I just want Shrek back. I don't want to deal with all this shit. I'd rather deal with Shrek getting injured than this bullshit like healthy premium scoring 80 points a week. Can't even win a hit out, and
He can't.
he's got Shrek this week, so he's going to probably get smashed again.
Oh, anyone that's like goes to the gym will just kill him.
He's all Australian last year, dude. What the hell? He averaged 130, and I didn't have him for.
I don't know if it's the Ruck rules. Yeah, but yeah, hasn't won a hit-out battle this year. Like, oh my god,
have not got the rocks right in a good 3 years. So do not listen to me.
I think I did similar to you, but I had Meek. Well, actually, was happy with Meek. I just wanted to sweet at R2, so that has caused multiple problems.
Now Grundy's cooking again, and I got rid of him in round 6 or something.
Oh yeah,
it's disaster town, man.
Yeah, next year I say it every year. I just need a.
Cherry's probably been the best one, hasn't he? The pick like Gorn and Cherry would have been the golden duo.
Yep,
man. If we're playing seriously next year, you're going to need a lot of ruck. Ruck research.
Speaking of future rucks, have you seen Tom de Koning's last 3?
Yeah, what the hell? As soon as Pito goes out, he cooks.
So I'm planning to piss English off for de Koning, and I don't even have the traits to do it. Seriously, like, I know I talk about other formats sometimes, but I did the similar trades with the Ruck. Like I went, I've got Moyle currently because I just like,
oh my god. So
I went to English after like using 10 trades at R2, and now I'm back. I traded him out straight away, like within 2 weeks. I'm like, this is unwatchable because I'm not even looking at the trade count that format. I'm just like, get out now. And I really wanted to punt him last week, but I had Matty Crouch to deal with. You can make 40k going from English, provided English hits his 100 break even. You can go from English to de Koning and bank 40k.
Will they just bring Pito back in though when he's healthy?
I think they can give him maybe for like a couple of weeks here and there. They can chop him out. But if they're playing in the grand final, is Pitnet playing?
I don't know.
No chance.
And do they want him in? It always seems like Vossi wants him in when he's healthy. Like they always bring him in, don't they? And gives TDK, can go fly for marks down forward. Stretches the defenses more when they got a man up on the 2 big forwards plus TDK when he's down there. That's probably what Vossi likes more. Like it just really. Like there's no real defense. Well, no defenses can really man up the 2 big boys down there, and let alone throwing TDK down there as well. So whether they care that he dominates as a solo ruck or not, it might be more a structure thing. I don't know. Blues fans would have to let us know, but it just seems like Vossi himself likes Pito when he's healthy to be in there and throw his weight around. And I don't know. Maybe next year he might be a pick and beyond if Pito's just. He struggles staying fit, doesn't he? So, I don't know. If you got TDK a couple of weeks ago, you're laughing, because at the worst you probably made money with him, 100 and something K, but you wouldn't do it now, George. I mean, as much as English is a pain in the fucking ass, you got to keep
Watch
him.
Me do it.
Yeah, I know you'll do it. But
I think he's averaging 96. There's a concussion game in there as well. So with Pino playing 6 games, his true average is like 102. I think it's solo. I haven't calculated the solo. I reckon it's like
high.
It's 120, I reckon.
Yeah, far out.
I think it's worth a punt. Like I was saying to you before the podcast, I'm probably a bit more excited for fantasy because I can actually trade out of my fake primos in that format, whereas here I'm stuck with them.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking like I'm just gonna send her, I think. There's no way I'm holding English for the year. I'm not sitting through that. Plus, I probably need a body next week anyway.
Mate, I don't know what I was doing on the weekend. I just saw a tweet pop up and you just saying English is at best R7. And then 2 hours later, you're like, oh, I forgot Meek and I forgot someone else. He's like R9 or something.
He's not currently top 10 in fiver and average, which is how long we've both had him. I just on the eye, just doesn't compete hard enough, and he's always had that little bit about that, a little bit of like
Flakiness.
he's not that, yeah, he's not that brute in the ruck. Not like you watch Meat come in, just even Sherry does it as well. They just bully the other ruck, and Gorn does it, so you just can't do it. So
Yeah, Cherry's been impressive. Yeah, has been big time.
yeah,
Yeah, I
anyway,
don't know. Look, tell me Pito's not playing the rest of the year, and I'll do it for sure. But also, what do I have to lose? You've got a top 1K rank to solidify, mate.
I've had
You probably
I'm
think that's
top
not happening with
1K,
English.
top 2K every year.
Yeah,
Like it doesn't. I don't know.
doesn't do much, does it? No.
It's very unfulfilling. So, like another top 1K, like don't even like what's it going to do? Great.
Yeah.
Another year of 1,000 off the first place. But anyway, I wouldn't recommend it. It's more of a send move, but combination of like you talk about enjoying the game. I can't enjoy watching English, so I like watching Pont. So anyway, I'd also rather go to probably Grundy or Sherry, but I actually need the 40K, so that's another thing. So anyway, forwards. Are you a Zorko owner?
No, never touched him.
You gonna grab him
Never
against the
touched
Saints
him. I
this
got
week?
Fisher back in that week. Oh, he does too, doesn't he? I don't think I can, George, unless I use 3 trades.
I think it's just gonna be pain this week, and then I don't know. Does his body hold up for the year? I'm not sure, but I think there's worse antipods than a 35-year-old Zorko. This week, you're probably gonna cop it though.
I'm in a weird spot, so don't worry about my team. But I guess if you, didn't have him yet, this week's pretty good, right? So what Flanders did, should have VC'd him.
Yeah.
Didn't even realize didn't even look at it, but yeah, Zorko probably goes nuts, doesn't he?
Yep. Zach Fisher, if you don't have him for 520K, is he still worth that 520?
Probably because
He
he's
probably is.
gonna be top 6 easy, provided he plays out the year
Yeah.
in that role. So yeah, probably is.
He's Aaron Hall. Since Sheasel moved, he's Aaron Hall.
Yeah.
95, 140, 116, 130, 120.
What's the kick-ins like? Oh Jesus Christ, he had 10 last week.
Yeah.
6, 9, 8, 8, 10.
Yeah. I think he's a good target despite the. I think you almost got to, even with the injury risk, because damned if you do, damned if you don't. So,
Yeah.
I spoke about Luke Jackson before. I'd love Luke Jackson F7, but I don't think it's going to happen. I think I'd be okay with him as your F6. I just think people like. I think Rankin, we're going to lose points on Sexton if he stays and we get rid of him. He will lose points on that because he should outdo Jackson. But the flip side is if you don't have Jackson and something happens to Shrek, well, now we're in trouble not having him.
Yeah.
So it's a bit of,
could be like a sideways move you make.
the ideal thing is you just carry money with your rookies and you just see if you need him or not. Because if you don't need him, you're kind of wasting your time.
Yeah, he could be cheap enough where if you had a few, 5 or 6 trades, you just get rid of your 2. Depends how much, like if you use the cash from your rookies, but maybe you could just get a couple of rookies up to him. If he's, it could be like 400 if that happens. If Shrek does eventually go down, I don't know.
Yeah.
What's he like? 490 now or something? 500 on the dot. 519. Yeah, so he's still pretty not expensive, but it seems like he gets lower though, right? And then he kicks 3 goals and has a, there you go. He had that 150 against the Saints. I didn't watch that game, but
It was a solo, I think.
Oh, was it? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So yeah, that's Jackson and Alex Sexton. So Power's about to come back. We have no idea what we're going to do or what's going to happen. Do you think he loses his spot? Do you think he holds, or you're not sure?
I'd have no idea. But he did lose it already this year, right? With Powell in and
yeah.
Ewan to get dropped for a bit, but he's obviously just come off his best game. And Sexton didn't really have any impact on the game, did he? Like, besides how many marks and kicks he had, he didn't really do much with the footy. So, don't know. He could easily be out. Dimmer could swing the axe again with him. Gold Coast are just impossible, like undefeated at home, haven't won away. I still think he's pretty on the edge, Sexton.
I would definitely hold and see what happens
Just see
if
what
you
happens.
can.
Yeah. Yep.
I'm not sure I can. At this stage, I'm holding, but that could change. But yeah, hold if you can. Like, could they put Flanders back in the midfield? Don't know.
Maybe.
That's why I want to see what happens. So,
Yeah.
that's the forwards. So, at this stage, are you trading?
No, I mean, I'm sitting there looking at Grime Myers too. Like, who do I keep? I probably got to get rid of one. One because Myers has just been shit.
In your position, I'd almost punt Simpkin, but if you don't like him, I understand that.
Yeah, I don't know. My teams, don't worry about my team. I'm trading one of Sexton or Myers. I don't know who though.
Okay.
Maybe holding Sexton's better because still is a better role if he plays.
Yeah. Some post-buy options. Kerno, Harley Reid, who's out till round 16. Cordwell, Shea Bolton, all around the 450 mark, but Bolton is 410. Do you have any interest in those guys?
Still maybe a cult like Kerno because they do have quite a good fixture post buy from memory. Last time I was on the pod, we looked at it like
Yeah.
us in 2 weeks, and Giants haven't been too crash hot. Doggies the same. North Port even the same. Not saying he'll kick bags against all of them, but and then to finish the year with like Hawks, who whilst they've been good, probably by that stage, I still do expect them to drop off a bit and not make finals. Hawks fans probably won't like that, but they've won a few tight ones. Play good footy. Loved watching them. I pretty much only watch Richmond here and there and Hawks the last like 6 weeks because obviously my team until we're done by 3/4 time and turn it off.
Yeah.
Or watching the Hawks to watch Kelsh, who's been going pretty well and stayed in the team. So regardless, I still think maybe by that time Hawks may be out of contention and then West Coast and St Kilda. So like there is still quite a few bags there left for Kerno, and Blues obviously one of the more decent teams this year. I haven't looked at the Coleman leaderboard, but he'd probably be going for it, in the last few weeks. So maybe he's the only one. I wouldn't touch. I know Shea's very cheap, but I probably wouldn't touch him. And who are the other ones? Harley Reid. I mean, yeah, he's the only reason West Coast would really ever won a game. That was pretty evident this week. I think someone said it was a Seb, like in the disc, like 130 average in wins, 60 something in losses. Harley Reid or something like that's
Yeah.
it all really. Like he just goes, "I'll put you on the back this week, get a win, and then other weeks can't do it." So he'd be good own, but how many games are West Coast going to win for the rest of the year?
If they can't beat North at home, who are they going to beat?
That's what I mean. So you like Caldwell? It's probably the only other one on that list, don't you? A little bit.
Yeah, I own him in other formats, and he's good. I think Parrish is out for another 5 weeks, so should help him. And he's taking priority over Perkins now, whereas I think they were kind of splitting for a while there. So I like Cordell. Looks good. Good role. But yeah, I just looking. Yeah, you were reading out the Carlton fixture. How are they not making top 2 with this fixture? So
yeah, well, with how even it is, and everyone else is pretty much a fraud.
Yeah.
Besides
So
Sydney. So, and now they're second anyway now. Yeah, I didn't even realize that. So, yeah.
I think,
Maybe a
I
punt.
don't mind Kerno at all. 450k.
Like you're gonna get it'd be nice maybe as your 7th, right? Like if you're in
Yeah.
that position, much better team than me, then maybe you can get him in for low 400s and try and loop on his best, his big bags on the run home.
Yep. Yeah, you can maybe get a VC or something as North or something.
Yeah.
Anything else to add for upgrades or cheapies or anything else before we get into captains?
Nah, not really. We've probably covered enough. Maybe drop a comment if you want in the replies. Me and George will answer them. That's probably what it's going to be. What's he got? We still got 2 buys left, don't we, this week and next, and then post buy, just probably more team specific for people and what they're looking at for their team from now. But yeah, captains, probably. I mean, I got Luke Ryan in for a reason. Probably VC him against the Dogs. Seems like a decent option, especially the way Freo are playing. Or if you get Zorko, do him, I guess, on the Friday night as a VC.
Yeah.
I guess the question is, who's the backup C? Heaney against your mob? Might be right.
Heaney's
Golden.
120s out.
If you're confident. Who are you confident in? I guess Nick if he plays, but
don't know. I've got VC Zorko, and I'm going to
maybe Zorko into Ryan, I guess.
Pretty safe. I'm doing Zorko into Ryan. So I remember watching Ryan against the Dogs last time. This 106 was, I think, somewhat lucky because they were just missing shots left, right, and center, and he didn't even intercept in that game because they had the three tolls that are just like he has to man up on one of the 3 tolls, and they're all like 200 centimeters or whatever. But they've got 2 outs now. Like O'Donnell's playing forward, so
okay.
I don't know how tall O'Donnell is or if that's relevant, but I feel like he's going to be easier matchup than a Sam Darcy or a Jamara.
Yeah.
So I do like Luke Ryan. Yeah, I think I'll do Zorko into Ryan, but I'm not in love with the captains this week. I guess Bond into Freo. I think Bond I'll go see actually.
Yeah. Yep. He usually goes, doesn't he go massive? Bond's got a good history against him.
I reckon there's a 180 in there somewhere.
Yeah, last year. Round 6. They don't really have anyone his size, do they? They might send someone to him, though. Like a...
Young or something.
Yeah, maybe.
VC Zorko into Bond. Maybe Ryan, one of the 2, but we'll see.
Yep.
And I think that's it.
Nice. No worries. Good to be back.
Yep. See how we go this week with this buy round's going to be difficult, but good to be back. I think I've missed a few weeks as well, so should be good. And yeah, we'll wrap it up there. Thanks everyone for tuning in, and we'll see you guys next week.